Dang, what's good, y'all? Bad news. Bad news. Showtime boxing seems to be done. Man, that's crazy, y'all. You know, I heard all the rumors for a while. I kind of ignored them for a little bit, but when everybody went to reporting on it, and then Steven Espinoza did his interviews and he was sounding all iffy and all that, I knew it was true. What happened? They've thrown like the biggest fights all year, and they've got the top names in the sport. Like they got most of the top names in the sport under their brand. So how the hell did this happen? But they say the rumor is that they will continue to do pay-per-view, which makes sense because they've thrown the best pay-per-views all year, top matchups all year. It's just that, they gave us the fights that we wanted, but like most of them had turned out to be one-sided. And I don't think that that's their fault. It's just the fights played out how they played out, you know? But I heard that they have no more free cards. And I can't lie, their free cards were a little mid. I can't lie. But them pay-per-view events, though, were fired. I mean, it's crazy. They gave us Tank Ryan, Plant Benavidez, uh, Spence Crawford, fights that we wanted to see. But now Showtime's getting out the game. That's crazy. And they just gonna be pay-per-view. I heard a lot of boxing in the future is gonna be all pay-per-view. They even say ESPN, Top Rank, they're gonna be struggling to keep their deal on ESPN. Bob Arum and them, they contract coming up in 2025, and they could possibly be losing Shakur Stevenson next year, as he said his contract coming up. And he got the competition that he wants is pretty much on Showtime. The Tank Davis, the Frank Martin and all them, he finna fight somebody from PBC now, Edwin De Los Santos, so that's going to be on ESPN. But yeah, that's crazy. I like this Showtime. They just hosted Tim Tszyu versus Brian Mendoza on free TV, and I heard that might be the last of it. That might be the last of it, y'all. And as far as that fight, that was a really good fight by Tim Tszyu and Brian Mendoza. He didn't lay down. Brian Mendoza was putting on a boxing clinic in the beginning, but Tim Tszyu, he got his game plan down and he got his rhythm towards the fourth, fifth round, and he beat him up for the rest of the fight. He landed some hellacious shots on Brian Mendoza, but Brian Mendoza had weathered the storm. He's got an exceptional chin he showed in that fight, because he was getting hit clean by all of Tim Tszyu's best shots. And he didn't even go down once. But yeah, Showtime, I think this is bad for the sport. Because PBC got over 200 fighters. and they losing the whole network. So they have to go somewhere with all those fighters. You know, fans would like to see them join DAZN. And if you mix the PBC roster with the DAZN roster throughout all the weight classes, those are some hellacious fights. You know, but they say Al Heyman has problems working with people, which could be a myth because Al Heyman, he did a lot of cross promotion fights, as in Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury with Bob Arum. He did Tank Ryan with Eddie Hearn. Like, he did some business with people. But a lot of people say that PBC don't like to deal with people. You know, even after Bob Arum had sued him in 2015, he still threw a huge event with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton. That was a big fight too. So I don't really know. Al Heyman does work with people. Maybe we just gotta see. I mean, will he go to DAZN? Will he want to be up under Eddie Hearn and the boys? You got Golden Boy over there. Golden Boy got some money fighters. We know Ryan Garcia, Zerto Ramirez, Jaime Munguia. You know, they got some money makers over there that make some huge fights. Devin Haney over there, but he just a one fight deal. Regis Prograis over there. You know, the zone might need that boost with all these 200 fighters. I hope that Eddie Hearn's trying to talk to him to get all those fighters over there. But they say that these promoters don't like to share money. You know, the three big promoters, Al Heyman, Eddie Hearn, and Bob Arum. So we got to see. They say that they might go to Amazon Prime and start off with Pitbull Cruz versus Tank Davis. Not a fight that I like, but, you know, the Mexican fan base who feels like Pitbull Cruz won that fight, they wouldn't mind it. And you know, you heard Floyd Mayweather say black and Mexican, that's the ticket to the big sales. And that fight had them excited because you seen Tank on the back foot, the big bad knockout artist monster. But I feel like Tank won that fight still with the decision. You know, even after he broke his hand, he boxed well. Showed good ring generalship, showed a good jab, kept Isaac Cruz at bay. So we got to see what's going on. You know, personally, I don't think Gervonta Davis versus Pitbull Cruz will sell anything like his last fight against Ryan Garcia. But it is what it is. I guess it's worth a try, seeing that Shakur and Haney is all tied up right now. But that's not really a fight that I personally would buy. But Showtime still got some nice pay-per-views coming up. Benavidez versus Andre. You know, that's always a banger. That's a true 50-50 fight. And I want to talk about that fight too in another video because Benavidez, he might be in trouble. He might be in trouble. But we got to see what's going on with Al Heyman and Showtime. It's not looking good right now. It don't seem like, I'm not hearing that they closing in on the deal with anybody. If he go to Amazon Prime, we'll probably just be back to normal. But if Showtime pay-per-view is still going on, I mean, they'll have two networks. They have a pay-per-view network and then a regular fight network on Amazon Prime. That don't really sound likely, but to be honest, I think the less boxing networks would be better for the sport. If everybody, I doubt everybody gather up under one network, but two networks like ESPN and in the zone, PBC go to the zone and all that. That's a lot of fighters right there. That's only two networks to keep up with. So that would be more organized. That would be more organized. I just don't know what Showtime's gonna do. Because if they move they non-pay-per-view fighters to another network, wouldn't that mean they got two networks, PBC, Showtime, plus another network where the other fighters fighting at? But I'm gonna be honest though, they free fights wasn't really all that. Like you got to have excitement going into the fight. They had a lot of Frank Martin versus Artem fights, which turned out to be like a 50-50 fight in the ring, but it didn't have a lot of excitement going into it. That's why a lot of hardcore fans try to catch every fight so you can, catch an upset and all that. I don't think that's really great. You're supposed to have those fights that had the perception of 50-50 going in. So no matter how the fight goes, you have great viewership, based off the perception of the fight. But we got to see what's up with Showtime. This is a real shocker. I've heard this rumor for the past few years that they would be on the way out. And I'm guessing that it's true.